Welcome back, Hackaholics, to another Hacknalysis, where I do an exclusive on a major hackatastrophe in mainstream or underground news, and then assign each victim a rectifiable score indicating just how screwed or recoverable their situation may be. If you haven't seen my Hacknalysis of the Marriott Starwood Hotel data breach that compromised over 500 million user records, make sure to check that out. You can find the links in the video description below. As always, if I state any facts incorrectly, please do not hesitate to butcher me in the comments or as a direct message. Behold, yet another data security scandal, and this time it involves the potential compromise of 52.5 million user records, and none other than the 20-year-old tech giant Google, with regards to their Google Plus social network platform. Whoa, hold on. I know what you're thinking. Fake news! There's no way that 52.5 million people actually use Google+. Well, you're not the only one who shares this opinion. Even Google has come to terms with it, stating that, quote, Google Plus currently has low usage and engagement, and 90% of Google Plus user sessions last less than 5 seconds. I'm honestly not even sure what constitutes an engagement on the Google Plus platform. Can we actually call it a platform? Anyways, back to the story. Ben Smith, VP of Engineering at Google, and Sundar Pichai's personal scapegoat, claims that they, quote, found no evidence that any developer was aware of this bug or abusing the API, and we found no evidence that any capital P profile data was misused. But Google apparently has no way of knowing whether they did because it only maintains logs of API use for 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Logs are kilobytes in size. Was the Google Plus budget so abhorrently neglected that they had to use AWS CloudWatch or something? Additionally, this is actually the second security lapse Google has had this year alone. If you've not heard about the previous incident already, allow me to quickly recap. On October 8, 2018, Ben Smith disclosed on the Google blog that a bug in the Google Plus API affecting up to approximately 500,000 users allowed users to grant access to their profile data and the public profile information of their friends to about 438 Google Plus apps via the API. Basically, third-party applications could access profile fields of users not marked as public. Ben Smith further explained, quote, the data is limited to static optional fields like name, email address, occupation, gender, and age. It does not include Google Plus posts, messages, account data, phone numbers, or G Suite content. So we discovered and immediately patched this bug in March 2018. We believe it occurred after— wait, March? As in like 9 months ago and 6 months before telling the public? Damn it, Ben, what took you so long? So if the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, was never passed on June 28, 2018, would we have actually ever known about this? Because there is no federal law that obliges any company to disclose data leaks, and before the CCPA, there were no laws even at the state level. Since the passing of the CCPA, Google has also announced that the Gmail service will stop scanning emails for ad suggestion content. Yeah, they've been doing that for the past 17 years. Google's inadmissible 6-month delay between discovery and disclosure of the first security lapse has raised significant transparency concerns among consumers, security professionals, and the government. Subsequently, Google announced the shutdown of the Google Plus service in August 2019, but that decommissioning has been expedited to April 2019 as the result of the second security lapse, which allegedly occurred between November 7th and November 13th, exposing the names, email addresses, ages, occupations, and other PII of 52.5 million imaginary users. Google has attempted to salvage whatever consumer trust they can by launching the Project Strobe campaign, quote, at the beginning of this year with the focus of protecting your data, improving our third-party APIs, and sunsetting consumer Google Plus. Wow, Ben Smith, if you think October 8 is the beginning of the year, your Bachelor's of Arts must be in complete bullshit. And what inspired Strobe? Even the name seems like a sour jeer at government intervention. Alright, so now that you're caught up, let's move to the asset calculation and damage assessment. In 2017, Google's global revenue was a whopping $110.9 billion. $95.4 billion of that came solely from ad marketing. Google shares closed at about $1,100–$1,200 between October 3rd and October 8, 2018, and they dipped as low as $1,027.42 in November 19. That's about 15%. Reputation-wise, Congress, which has only 4 members with a computer science degree, is demanding non-technical explanations from Sundar about a purely technical policy fault, while every other tech company other than Apple is probably sweating balls about some breach that already happened to them a couple months ago. In summary, Google has taken little financial damage, nothing that they can't recover from. They will have to continue fighting in the days to come, however, to maintain a positive reputation, and frankly, expediting the demise of Google Plus is something that should really have happened about a decade ago. Next up, we have the vulnerability speculation. Many websites offer third-party developer platforms. An example of this is the Facebook Login API or Google Maps API. Third-party applications such as Uber want to harness the power of the Google Maps API without reinventing the wheel, and Login with Facebook allows third-party applications to make that account creation process seamless and intuitive. In order to host these services, the platform provider like Facebook or Google must provide a way for developers to allow a user to authenticate themselves, authorize the third-party application to access their Facebook or Google information, and then deliver those resources to the third-party application. A popular way to do this is by generating temporary access tokens that grant third-party applications these permissions. Google Plus API uses what's called Open Authentication Protocol 2.0, but OpenAuth 2 is also employed by platform providers like Facebook and LinkedIn. OpenAuth 2 has known vulnerabilities, most of which are implementation related, meaning that it is the sole responsibility of the software architect or engineer to properly configure and integrate the protocol into their applications. From the way that Ben Smith explains how the bug was discovered, its implications, and the swiftness of the patch, my hunch is that these security defects were software faults. Unless, of course, the 6 months of silence after discovering the first defect was actually spent deciding whether or not to redesign Google Plus's infrastructure and or to acquire the most competent defense attorneys in California. However, the lack of permission granularity that encompasses the use cases they list on their blog clearly suggests a major design flaw. At last, it is scoring time. I think we all know Google Plus is pretty much wrecked. But even though the developer program is going completely kaput, Google Plus support will continue to run for G Suite Enterprise users. For that reason, I will give them a 2 out of 10, leaving Google Plus totally wrecked. Google as a whole, however, may still have a future, but it is my personal opinion that they are really playing risky, especially with their newest Google Duplex product that can engage in conversations almost indistinguishably from a human being. Imagine if a hacker got their hands on a tool that could allow them to impersonate any CEO of a company and make simultaneous business calls internationally. Just another recipe for a hacktastrofe, and I'll be sure I'm ready to make another hacknalysis of that breach when it comes. Until then, I give Google an 8 out of 10. They might be able to ride this one through, I mean these two, but the fall of a tech giant has yet to happen. As Murphy's Law says, if it can happen, it will. Only question is, which tech giant will it be? Thus, knowing that the only reason Google probably even launched Project Strobe is because the CCPA was recently passed, how much do you think you should be really trusting Google with your personal information? Okay, so I hate to close on such an ominous note, but that's all I got for you this week, folks. What do you think about these two security scandals? Would you like me to do an in-depth explanation of just what Google has been doing with your personal information for the past 20 years? Do you think Google is being unjustly defamed, or are they getting off easy? Let me know in the comment section below or as a direct message. Don't forget to check out last week's hacknalysis of the Marriott Starwood data breach, which is still under investigation. If you liked this video, I would be honored for a thumbs up, and if you want to see me next week, don't forget to hit subscribe. Anyways, stay calm and hack on.